Today, I'm going to be telling you about the disappearance of Shelley Mook, a young mother who was navigating a divorce. She was a teacher, and she was also raising her young daughter. And people who had the fortune of knowing her say that she was very, very kind. She was also responsible and loving. Her and Tyler ended up going out, and the two of them were practically inseparable after this. In fact, right after Shelley graduated from high school in 2004, they ended up getting married in Hawaii. She had gotten pregnant, and they ultimately decided that marriage was the next step in their relationship. And shortly after that, she gave birth to their daughter, who goes by Lily. And then Shelley decided to go back to school to become a teacher. And it sounds like things were okay for a little while, but after some time, things really started to sour. Tyler became emotionally and physically abusive towards Shelley, and there were also allegations of infidelity, and her loved ones became very worried about her. And finally, by 2009, Shelley was done with this horrible treatment, and she knew it just wasn't a safe environment for her daughter Lily anymore, so she left him and was granted primary custody of Lily. And from what I've been able to gather, it seems like she was doing really well in life. She got a job working as an 8th grade teacher at Harris Middle School, and she was loved by all of her students and colleagues. People really only had great things to say about her, especially when it came to her as a mother. Lily was the most important person in her life, hands down, and she would have never done anything to jeopardize being around her. So, of course, when Shelley didn't come to pick up her daughter on the night of February 28th, 2011, as she was expected to, red flags quickly started to rise. Shelley's car was found on fire in an open field about 20 miles away. And you guys, the whole thing was torched, and it was clearly done on purpose. And because of how severe the damage was, it took the authorities a little bit of time to figure out who this car even belonged to. But once they were able to link it to Shelley, they knew that this was a much bigger situation than just arson. But to this day, there is unfortunately no physical evidence whatsoever, at least that we know of, to explain where she is or what happened to her. Nothing. Hence why it's all just an assumption that she is no longer alive. One thing we do know is that she definitely didn't light her own car on fire. There's just no world where she would have done that herself and just walked away from her life and her daughter. So investigators turned to the person who saw her last to see if they could get a better idea of what her movements were that day. That person was Tyler. And right from the beginning, Tyler was not cooperative. An agent with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has even confirmed that he hasn't cooperated in her case, and many believe that he's done a lot worse than that. Many people, and I mean many, many people, including myself, believe that he is responsible for what happened to her. And that is just my opinion.